Hi everybody, Msfs Simmer here. You can see we're here, Canadian North. We are continuing our contract here with this carrier, and we're over here in Edmonton. Alright, let's see where we're at here.
Hi Captain, microphone check please. Okay Captain, radio check is complete. We'll contact you when we're ready to start loading.
Alright, let's go to the intercom. Hopefully we can talk. How are you doing this morning? I'm fine, so it doesn't look like we're getting things working here yet. I don't know why. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get GSX loading, we're gonna request catering service, and we're gonna start to get our plane ready to go. When I released the brake, things went backwards. It just didn't look correct. I'm still not sure I'm getting, well, I don't know, hydraulics aren't really on, so maybe we still wouldn't have things. I don't need a tug. We'll see what's going on, but let's go ahead and try to call in Edmonton clearance, Arctic 1752, request IFR to Fort Mckay. So let me let the ground crew, okay, let's see.
I'll have your clearance in just a second.
So, spoken to security, they'll be ready to send the passengers. Start boarding when ready. Okay. So, we're going to go to the ground crew.
Arctic 1752, information uniform is current. Cleared to Fort Mckay. After departure, fly radar vectors to Lisbon, then as filed. Departure runway 12. Initial climb to 6,000. Departure on 120.5, squawk 4451.
Roger.
Alright, we're going to get the APU started.
Fly radar vectors to Andy, then as filed. Depart runway 12. Initial climb to 5,000. Departure on 133.65, squawk 4251. Uniform Sierra Mike.
Alright, cleared to Fort Mckay. After departure, fly radar vectors to Lisbon, then as filed. Departure runway 12. Initial climb to 6,000. Departure 120.5, squawk 4451. Arctic 1752.
Clear to Atlanta. After departure, fly radar vectors to Amrad and then as filed. Initial climb to 5,000. Departure on 133.65. Squawk 5222.
Okay, we'll get our packs off.
Departure Avid 9028.
Alright, so we've got the intercom.
Contact ground
Passengers have started
121.7
boarding. Alright, so it seems to know what it's doing, so fine. Are we getting fuel and all that? Let's see, what is our fuel state? Our fuel state is wrong, but we can solve that with some other things, so... Alright, we loaded that. Let's get things back here. Alright, so we're going to want to go to the menu, FMC, position, route, flight plan. There's the flight plan. Okay, we're going to want to set payload. We're going to want to set fuel. That will take care of that stuff.
Ground to cockpit.
Alright, ground to cockpit. Go ahead.
Hi Captain, just a quick update to let you know that we've started loading. We'll send the final load sheet up once we're ready.
Alright, so that is good. We'll load here. Alright, so we need to get, what just happened? Now I've lost. Alright. Need to get to 6, or 4451. 44. Whoops. We'll get that to 1. Alright, so 4451. So we're all set there. Get the seat belts on. Okay. 1205 is, okay, that's, is 121.7 ground? It is, alright, so let me get to ground. Alright, so we're all set there, we've got the fuel. We're just waiting to board. Alright, we're gonna activate, we're gonna execute. So, performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this self-loading cargo service. Please place your large bags into the overhead
Cargo
locker
service?
first,
We're
and
not
keep
a...
your small items under the seat in front of
That's
you.
funny.
These include laptops, handbags,
Tornado
duty-free
892
and loose
Tango
items of
Oscar,
clothing.
hold short of taxiway Echo, waiting for clearance to enter the ramp.
Please take your seat.
Holding short
To
of
help us
taxiway Echo,
ensure
Tornado
quick departure,
892
we
Tango
kindly
Oscar.
ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling
Clearance
all
on request.
remaining
Stand
customers
by.
to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready
Kilo
for
Skiwat,
departure.
clear to Toronto after departure of radar vector to Riley, satisfied departure runway 12, initial climb to 6000, departure 1120, decimal 5, stroke 6555, ABF 04.
Alright. Should be all set
ABF
there.
004, read that correct.
Just need to clear that up so that we don't have that. Flight 0330 is good. Ground crew wants something.
Loading has been completed. We're sending the load chute up to you now. We'll contact you once the aircraft is closed up, then we'll get to meet you.
Alright, now we've got intercom. So they have the low sheet, 3 crew on board, 128, 131 souls. And please close the doors. Alright, let's get everything turned on. I think we're at 3003 last I checked, so we'll get that all set. Alright, auto throttle. I don't think we can turn that yet. Nope, we're good. Get this set. Okay, at this point we can turn the APU on. Let me get everything set. Alright, everything is turned on, off. Okay, we got the bleed to on. We need this to 33. Alright, and now we're just waiting for the loading to finish, which should be any time now. I think it was at 87%. So we'll see if this works, because it's a little bit more integrated to GSX. Edmonton ground, Arctic 1752, request push and start.
Arctic 1752, push and start approved, face south.
Face south, Arctic 1752. Alright, so where do we sit here? Okay, boarding completed. Catering vehicles are on their way. Oh goodness, okay. So I guess we gotta wait for that. And then hopefully things will be good.
Tornado 892 Tango Oscar holds short of
So,
taxiway Delta, waiting for clearance.
We're trying to leave at 15:01. You can see it's 14:47. So, seatbelt is on. Everything is good that way. So we're basically going to get ourselves airborne here, and then we'll go ahead and step away until we get closer to the landing. We do have some snow flurries. It's crazy, Canada in late April, I guess. Just not something I would have expected. So that should have us at 5, right? Yep, okay. So flaps should get there. Alright, so I'm assuming catering will be done soon. And then hopefully, let's see, it says ground is waiting for the beacon light. So I don't know why that would have been the case, but it is. Alright, and then let's go to menu, FS actions, ground services. We want to release ground power. And we want to remove the chocks, just so everything is good to go. And so hopefully we'll then be ready, and hopefully everything will work. If it doesn't, I'm really going to be disappointed. But I think the trucks have to like fully depart and all that. What do we got on the other side? Okay, why are the now what's going on? Okay. Alright, so hopefully we're good.
Call me when you're required for stuff.
Okay, we're ready to
Roger.
go.
Just a reminder, if you're using software to track your virtual airline flights, you might want to start it now, if you haven't already.
Okay, we're gonna let self. I don't know. Maybe we'll let GSX do it. I'm a little worried here, but we'll see.
Airbus 450 Alpha Bravo holds short of taxiway Lima traffic on final approach.
Right.
Holding short of taxiway Lima Airbus 450 Alpha Bravo.
Ground totally connected.
WestJet 1448, Edgerton
Right.
ground, push and start approved. Face southwest.
So we do not need icing. Alright, so they should be now crawling on. These guys are getting away, and alright, we're ready for pushback. So, and they should back away and leave. Although they don't, they sit there, which is part of the problem I had, maybe, I don't know. It might have been that I had not removed the chocks. There's a possibility that that was it, but we'll try to keep an eye out for things here. I mean, we're already cleared for push and start. There goes, it says connecting pushback tow. So they're coming in, locking the gear. Select pushback direction when it appears. We want to face south. So we're going to want to go left because we're facing east right now. Alright, we're getting raised up. So it should...
Those attached. Steering team is inserted. Stand by while we start pushdown.
So it should ask us soon. Obviously it's still raising us up. Alright, we're going to go left. Release parking brakes. Alright, due to icing, stand by for engine start. Alright, at least now we're moving. Before, we were not.
Clear to stand, and you're free to start engine.
Okay, we're going to start engine 2. So, I guess we'll follow the in-game directions and the other GSX, or self-loading cargo directions. Alright, so our crew is doing its thing.
Your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing you.
I was gonna say, we gonna turn anytime soon?
Life jackets and brace position, which you must adopt if you hear brace. Brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle and 2.
Alright, finally a little bit here. Well, very little bit. That's a long way. Alright, I think we're finally turning. Alright, now I think it's finally going to get us on the line there, which makes sense.
Seat. Put it over your head. Pass
Sorry
the tapes
for
around your waist,
not
click
hearing
together
that.
and pull the strap to adjust. Do
All
not
right.
inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside,
Just
inflate by
so
pulling
hard
the
to
toggle.
tell if we're on.
If it fails to
Alright,
inflate or needs topping up,
so
lower
now
the
we
switch.
need to start.
There is a light and whistle for attracting attention.
Gulfstream 671
Wheels
Golf
are
Sierra holds
clarification
short of
lights to
taxiway
tune.
echo traffic on
Your
final
tray
approach.
table must now be stowed, armrest
Holding
down,
short of
window
taxiway echo
blinds open,
Gulfstream
and
671
seatbelt
Golf
fastened.
Sierra.
We wish you a
Okay.
pleasant flight. and
Avid
thank you
Everything
for
is
your
set.
ground, pushback and engine start approved.
We'll
Face
get there.
Roger, pushback approved. Avid 928 Heavy.
Alright,
Avid
so
928
just
contact
checking
tower on
my
118.3.
pilot's
Take care.
life. Everything's being monitored. We're on pre-flight. Gonna move this over to another screen so that when I check it during flight, we're not in trouble. Okay, we're starting up, but again, they asked us for icing to wait. Alright, transponder's working. We're waiting for engine to flip. Now we're going to start engine 1.
Roger.
So, get that going. And again, everything should start to click off. Low pressure should go away. So now we've got some hydraulic power from the engines because they're spinning up, and then there they go. And again, we've got to get ourselves all the way up. Alright, so we've got good engine start. Alright, monitoring engine start, disconnecting from aircraft. So it's already doing that on its own. Well, at least it says it's doing it on its own. Do I have to let it know? guess so. Okay. So we're lowering, unlocking gear. At this point, we can go and change to engine power, shut off our APU, get our packs back to auto, turn the bleed off, and we are configured for takeoff. We'll now get our taxi lights on. Might be a little early, but that's alright. Can't do anything yet, because the ground crew is blocking us. I'm sure, you know, they've got to pull away and get all that and get a signal from GSX, so...
Okay, Captain. Looks like a good startup on all engines and tow is disconnected. Nose wheel is free, so you're good to go. We'll get ourselves disconnected now, so have a safe flight. Look out for the pin on the left, and we'll see you next time.
Alright, so... be seated for takeoff now. Okay, crew are heading to their seats is what it tells me. Alright. Edmonton ground, Arctic 1752, ready for taxi. So we should just go to Papa and straight out to the runway.
Arctic 1752, taxi to runway 12 via Victor, Quebec, Bravo.
Interesting. Runway 12 via Victor, Quebec, Bravo, Arctic 1752. Yeah, you just cannot hear the brakes click off easily. Alright, so this was the problem I had, is the plane did not start rolling, so I think we're okay. As soon as I turned the brake off, we started going backwards is what was happening, and then we couldn't go forwards. I literally had the throttle all the way up, and we like past toga position, and the plane was not doing anything on the runway, so maybe we're in good shape here. We'll see if we can have everything run along. But yeah, I mean, this is Quebec here, so I guess Victor is kind of the part we started on, because there's Victor and Oscar, but I'm guessing Oscar's kind of the other side of the apron. Alright, let me just check. It should hopefully be telling me I'm taxiing or something. Yes, flight stage taxi out. So that is good. And we can see on the map. So, no need to go super fast. We're not really going that far. We're basically turning left here, and then we're on the runway. So, we've got our hold short position up there.
Arctic 1752, contact tower on 118.3. Have a good morning.
Contact tower, Arctic 1752. Edmonton Tower, Arctic 1752, holding short runway 12, ready for takeoff. Sometimes they take a bit, I guess. Come on. Oh boy, gotta love it. Because it looks like it's Like we've got arrows past here, like we're cleared. Edmonton Tower, Arctic 1752, ready for takeoff. I think we're having a say intentions.
Arctic 1752, Edmonton Tower, runway 12, wind 225 at 4, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 12, cleared for takeoff, Arctic 1752. Alright. So, should be all set.
Skyhawk 90001 Bravo, hold at taxiway Alpha traffic on final.
Alright.
Holding at taxiway Alpha,
We are
Skyhawk
set.
90001 Bravo.
And we are now going to
Contact
go.
departure. Have a nice day. Have a 904 Heavy.
So, we've got toga. And everything is set. Can we get LNAV? Not yet. Okay. But we'll stay kind of looking that way so that we can get where we need. Alright. Positive rate. Gear up. We're going to follow the course of the runway here. Get ourselves up to speed. And LNAV, VNAV, and we'll get autopilot activated.
Arctic 1752, contact departure.
Contact departure, Arctic 1752. Edmonton departure, Arctic 1752 with you.
Arctic 1752, Edmonton departure, radar contact, clear direct LISVA.
Clear direct LISVA. Oh, Arctic 1752. I almost said Walker. Alright, I haven't done my PA announcements, so that's bad, but I bet it won't work anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, we're climbing to cruise. We're on time. Normal cruise. I'll speak to you later. Thank you. And my guess is...
Arctic 1752, climb flight level 240.
Climb flight level 240, Arctic 1752. Alright, it was a little slow, so that's always a challenge, because it does not seem to pick up on its own. I don't know why. So let's see if I just do level change. And now go to VNAV and let it manage it appropriately. But it's like once it starts going, it seems okay. But after, other than that, it does not. So we are up. Airport. I think that's us. So we kind of, you know, went out and then circled around. So 12 was that way. We basically, the terminal was there, we went out there and took off that way. And our cruising altitude will be 330, but at this point we are up, uneventful, which is good, that's what we want. you know, I've got a little ways to go. But I will go ahead at this point, and as we get closer to Fort McKay, we will join back up in a bit.
Ladies.
Alright, so we're jumping in here. I realized I had a problem. I had C-kick twice, and so, yeah, we're trying to get desperately down to 10,000. I was kind of double-checking things, thank goodness. Couldn't see a top of descent, and then realized what was happening. So, we're doing flight level change at this point, and it looks like we might be able to get, I don't know if this means we'll be down to 4,000. You know, we kind of need to be at 3,400 at IGSAD, but if I can get down to that level, close to there, that's not going to be a real issue. So we're going to let the plane manage itself, and we'll see what we can do. But at this point, we probably do have a pretty significant descent. Drink service is finishing up. It says it's in progress. So I'm guessing, yeah, the crew's probably not enjoying a 5,200 foot descent while they're trying to finish that up, but that's what we've got, and it doesn't look like they've canceled anything yet. So let's just let folks know that the descent is starting, and we'll go with arriving in 30 minutes. Please remain seated. I don't know that that's accurate. We'll probably be arriving earlier than that, but if we miss a little bit on our score, you know, that's okay. Alright, so let me check. It doesn't honestly look like I'm going to get any kind of altimeter unless I get a call in from Say Intentions.
Squawking 7654, November 556, Bravo, Quebec.
King Air Golf Tango Juliet Sierra, Edmonton Center, good afternoon.
Alright, so I mean, we still have 44 miles, so we might be okay here. We don't know for sure. Because yeah, I'm just not sure if it's really going to do the slowdown when it should, or if this is part of the issue. I mean, again, if it does, it should be able to. Let me see. What if I set this to like 241? Because then what it'll do is it'll go down, but then it won't be able to descend as fast, is going to be the issue. So I'm not sure. Let me see if I can do something with the speed brake. And that should, you know, decelerate a lot faster. But yeah, that's full speed brake there. But that way we'll be at 241, and then it'll go ahead and descend. Because yeah, the challenge is we're chewing up distance as we're slowing down. So not exactly what you want to be doing, but a bit of a botched call on everything else. So we'll get this set. I mean, again, I'm going to assume we're somewhere near 3003 until we're told otherwise. Alright, so now it's doing level change. We're looking for that arc. As long as that arc gets close, then I think we'll be in good shape. It's just, you know, can it maintain that at a slower speed like that. I probably want to keep the speed brake on. Well, maybe not, because honestly, you know, it's one of those, like, you want it at one point, but you don't. Alright, so we're gonna need some good braking when we land, because we know this is a really short runway. Alright, so it looks like we do need speed brake, because if I don't do that, you can see where the arc goes. I'm nowhere near where I need to be. So the speed brake will help us. And you know, once we get closer, that'll be different. But yeah, now we're able to go.
Contact Edmonton Center approach on 135.7.
Edmonton approach 135.7. Walker, whoops, Arctic 1752. I'm so used to the Walker flights. Edmonton approach, Arctic 1752 with you, 15,000 feet descending to 4,000.
Arctic 1752, Edmonton Center approach identified. Good morning, Fort Mckay, Albion altimeter 30.03.
Alright, well, that's what we had.
67 Kilo Lima cleared RNAV 36 number 2 following a diamond. Cleared RNAV 36 following the diamond 67 Kilo Lima.
Apologies, Edmonton Center. I'm looking for an IFR to Calgary, New Bear 256.
Alright, so
I'm working on that clearance. Stand by.
we're getting close. See, I'm just not sure if we're going to be at... If we're going to be at 10,000 at Sekic.
We'll be airborne by 0926.
Although I think we're still 10, 18 miles away, so
Maintaining speed 9er Hotel Lima.
I would hope we can go down faster than that, but
November 256,
maybe not.
climbing flight level 220. Be advised, I'm turning left, heading 150 to avoid some weather. November 256. Edmonton Center, make that heading 135 to avoid that storm. November 256.
November 256, climb flight level 250.
Alright, we're still at 2,000. Alright, I'm gonna pick my range up here, so we should be able to see some points there. Alright, good news is we're at 10,000. We're getting up to 10,200 already, which is what we were calling out. So, yeah, that's honestly looking like it might be pretty good. Alright, so I'm feeling pretty solid. Let's see if I go to VNAV, what it might do at this point. Because it knows it needs to be at 3,400, so I think we'll be okay. I mean, because we do have, you know, 27 miles to get over there, so... Alright, and now it's speeding up again. I was a little worried. I'm like, is it going to level out? Because I really would prefer that not be the case. But I wonder if that's some of the problem I had last time I came in here, is that I didn't realize it was doing something like that. And I realized it far, far too late.
on 8 left, maintain 9 knots. Cleared visual 8 left, 9 knots, 714 Lima.
Yeah, somehow we got
Arctic 1752, Edmonton Center approach, descend altitude 3000.
way up in
30
speed.
decimal 03.
Descend 3000, Arctic 1752. Alright, so what it's telling me is I need to set that when it's telling me the VREF isn't established. Alright, okay, I should be able to now get this down, because now we should be at a little bit more manageable, speed level. We want to be below 210 for that, so, I'm not sure. Let's see, we'll get the approach. So we've got 13 miles. We are falling below that. So I am gonna start dropping down, because otherwise, I think, again, we're setting ourselves up for a massive problem here. Alright, we're gonna need to slow down. So, yeah, I'm definitely having to manually deal with this a lot more than I would expect. But yeah, the goal is kind of be underneath and then level out and fly in and catch the, any kind of glide path or anything. Alright, so we want to be down to, say, 2005. Or 205, not 2005. Yeah, I mean, we're theoretically below the glide path, so it is kind of intriguing the way that's coming up here. I don't know, we might make it. I mean, we're going down at a good pace. And again, we're going to try to capture 3,000. We've got 4 miles, so in theory I should be able to fall another 1,000 feet. Let me get my landing rate monitor up here. So yeah, we're at 4 degrees, so it's a little fast. Okay, and at this point,
1249 heavy descend and maintain 3000 airport 12 o'clock 20 miles.
So it should
3000 airport in sight, FedEx 1249 heavy.
Should capture soon.
Beaver Foxtrot Bravo Echo Alpha Edmonton Center radar contact.
Okay, so we've got altimeter hold. And now it should bring us around.
Arctic 1752, turn right, heading 095 vectors for the ILS runway 31 approach.
Turn right 095 for runway 31 approach. Walker, or Arctic 1752. Alright, we're going to go down one more on the flaps. Give us a little bit more control. So we should be, yeah, below, I think it's below 180 actually. So we'll get ourselves to 175. So once we turn in a few miles, that will be on the approach vector then, I believe. So okay, getting down to, as you can see, just above 10. And then hopefully things will get set. You know what I need to do? I need to, again, get this down now where we don't have as much drag. Because that ends up being the problem here. Alright, so it's on single channel. Alright, it locked in. So now it knows where it's going. It's just, again, now we need the glide path. So I believe that's the runway there.
Arctic 1752, Fort Mckay, Albion Airport at your 12 o'clock 9 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Report cancellation of IFR or missed approach this frequency.
Change to advisory approved. Arctic 1752.
Arctic 1752, change to advisory frequency approved. Report cancellation of IFR or missed approach on this frequency.
Yeah, we got that. All right. So we're 7 miles out. We'll put our gear down. Now again, it should grab the glide path. There we go. There's our runway there. I was thinking it was that, but that's wrong.
Air Canada 235, hold at waypoint brakes. Expect further clearance in 10 minutes.
So now we... Whoops.
Further clearance, Air Canada 235.
Oh boy, I'm going the wrong way with everything. Getting my flaps down. This is just really, really a bad result. So I think, yeah, 145 is... Yeah, 137 is what we're targeting. With flaps full down. So we'll go the last 2 steps. And that should put us in a pretty good spot here. Like it's on autopilot. The glide slope should be fine. But yeah, at least we're not coming in a snowstorm like we had been during the winter, so it's a little bit better. But definitely not terrific. So we are up here.
Arctic 1752, Fort Mckay, Albion Airport at your 1 o'clock 2 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Report cancellation of IFR or missed approach this frequency.
Canceling IFR, Arctic 1752.
Arctic 1752, roger. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR. Frequency change approved.
Alright, so let's get this turned off. We're drifting a bit. So we're going to want to pull up. Ooh, little heavy, but I think we're okay. I think it was 440 or something, but I think we'll be alright. It wasn't like insane, but we're down. So let's see what it got approved, what it got reported at. Trying to move. Ooh, 504. I think that'll still be okay. And again, radar services are terminated, so we can just stop here. Get our flaps up. We will pull up our,
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the seatbelt sign has been
we
switched
want
off.
to turn off the beacon
Multiple
light.
Electronic devices for messaging, calls, or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case any.
So, we're waiting for her to finish.
Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your
approach on
self-loading
119.5. Good day.
For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter, or the official self-loading cargo app. Thank you.
Alright, so now cabin crew are disarming doors. So I'm going to turn things off. Now, whoops. I don't want clear to deboard. And we arrived on time. Everything looks good. Please remember to submit the flight. So hopefully all will be good on Pilot's Life. Again, a little hard, but it's kind of the nature of the beast.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Alright, score was 88. On my Pilot's
Captain.
Life.
Ground power is available. Stand by. We'll start getting you offloaded in a couple of minutes.
Alright.
Just a reminder, if you're using software to track your virtual airline flights, you might want to finalize your flight now if you haven't
Ladies and
already done
gentlemen,
so.
your portable electronic devices must not be used until you are inside the airport. When disembarking, please take care and hold onto the handrails while walking down the stairs.
We got a C-.
Please ensure that you supervise your children, and for
So-
your own safety, do not walk underneath the wing.
Don't walk under those wings. Alright, everyone's on board. Not sure how I feel about your landing. I'm just glad the seatbelts work. Okay, yeah, I haven't had that in with self-loading cargo in a while, so. But let's go ahead and we'll exit out. We don't need to listen to them now that we're done with that. Let's see, what did we really have? Okay, we didn't do good airspeed management. We didn't welcome people on board. We didn't do seats for landing, so we lost 100 points there. Cabin crew wasn't seated. Prepare the cabin, so yeah, I missed a good amount, but yeah, basically I got 840 out of 1,505 points, so it's pretty bad. But we are now halfway through our Canadian North contract. Again, we've got to, if we look at where we're at, here's our logbook, so this is what we just finished, but our schedule, we got to obviously come back to Edmonton, then we're going to go Fort Mckay. Oh, actually, it's out of Calgary, but we're still going to Fort Mckay. and then we'll be going from Terrace Northwest to Calgary and back. And those are going to be our longest flights. Those are 564, so flights get a little bit longer as we go along, but even as you can see, it's about 2 hours. It's not terrible. And then we'll see where we end up. Again, I really am probably leaning toward, if I can get a contract with someone in a warmer climate, that may work better. Trying to deal with the poor weather is definitely a challenge, but at this point, we, we're going to go ahead. Not quite sure what we're hearing, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to step away and hope you have enjoyed this little sojourn in the Great White North, and we'll be back again in the future. I will see you then.